Hey y'all, so I'm here with my best girlfriend since second grade, and we are having a conversation that I know a lot of women, a lot of just people are going to be inspired by. So I said, Kenya, can I have you on so we can talk about successfully leaving your job? So we're going to jump right into this because I'm so proud of Kenya. Last July, she was able to fire her boss, but y'all, she's been talking about that since we were in our what 20s or 30s. I can't remember now.
A long time.
But the awesome thing is that so many people, it's such a far off thing, like they want to do it, but can they really is the question. And since you are a living, breathing example of someone who did it, I just
Hmm.
really want us to inspire them today by what's possible. So let's kind of like tell the story of the early days, right? So like when did you first get that feeling that you wanted to be an entrepreneur? Because you had gotten your degree, you were, in the school system. So what was it that made you say, I don't just want to do this forever?
Well, let me say that we have been entrepreneurs since we were in like elementary or middle school. So just because I got my degree and started in the education field, like that was not my first time having a desire or even the thought of being an entrepreneur. I started when I was young from cleaning houses and then doing our network marketing gigs and
And
then
go selling snowballs.
selling snowballs, then DJing, and then so like every business was a step up. And so I stepped up again. So that has always just been a part of who I am and what I love. I love ownership. I love being able to decide and create how much money I want to make. I don't like having a ceiling, which basically you have in a job. So I just love everything about entrepreneurship. Right now, my goal is to travel the world and work on my laptop from whatever beach I am on.
No, that's right. And you've been doing a lot of travel lately.
Uh-huh.
So, y'all, I'm telling you, if you want to fire your boss, create your own income, design your own life, like,
Mhm.
it's possible. And I wanted Kenya to come on to show you that possibility. So, Kenya, I want them to kind of see the timeline because sometimes people feel that, oh, it's taking so long, maybe it will never happen for me.
Mhm.
So, um, you started out as a school teacher and then you
Mhm.
worked your way up in that profession.
Right.
And but tell them though how, because you always wanted to be out of the classroom, kind of tell that story how you did manifest going from the classroom to a dream job in the school system.
Yeah. So let me say this first of all. So everything in my life has, we all go through levels and we all up level and things get better and relationships get better, you make more money, well, for some of us, for us it did.
Mm-hmm.
But the only way that that happened was because I worked on me.
Mm-hmm.
Like if I were the person that I am now, back when I had the DJ business, like I had a dream of, because there were people out here with multi-million dollar DJ entertainment companies, and I love that. But I was not at a place personally, personal development wise. Like my mindset wasn't right, my attitude, my beliefs needed working on, so I did not grow that. I could have grown that business if I would have, worked on myself back then like I am now. So the big difference is the fact that um any big thing you want to do, any transformation you want to make, it literally starts within you first.
Yes.
I had to grow as a person, right? The skills, all the knowledge about the business, that's secondary. That comes after. You have to really like shore yourself up and create the kind of mindset that a multi-million dollar business owner has to have. Create the type of habits that a multi-million dollar business owner has to have. So I had to do a lot of working on me. And once I worked on me, then the outside world started to morph and conform to give me what I want. The people that I do business with nowadays, I didn't know them from Adam. But if I would have looked at my world back then, I would have been like, well, I don't know who I'm going to do this business with. I don't know what to do. I don't know how to do it. By just looking at reality, I would not have gone forward, right? Because my world did not show that this was possible.
Well, you name some of the things, but sometimes people may ask, well, what does she mean? What does it look like to work on myself? What are the things that I need to do to make sure I'm working on me?
So that's great because I've been doing some live TikToks this week about that. And
Uh-oh, her signal went down. Speaking, while we're waiting for her to come back, guys, follow Kenya Conway on TikTok. She does some wonderful, wonderful personal development TikToks and reels that are inspiring. So we're gonna wait a minute for her to come back. She probably has to log off and then log back on. But Kenya and I have been best friends since, oh, there she goes off, since the second grade. And one of the inspirations for us that we got to see as young children were my parents. So they served as great entrepreneurial models for us. My mother was a school teacher as well. After 3 years of working her business part time, she was able to replace her school teacher's salary. Well, actually, she tripled it. And so then she went into business full time. And so we got to see her and my dad develop a business, and we would go to their meetings, and they would win all these trips, and we would get to travel with them to some of the beautiful destinations where they would go. And we would go to their meetings at their office and hear them inspire their team, and see them win all kinds of records and get the trophies. I think she is back. Let me add her to the stage. There we go. Hey, Kenya.
hey, sorry about that. I actually did not answer the call. I declined it, but it just took me away and I was missing. So I apologize about that.
No problem. Okay, so let's jump back. I was just telling them some of the things we did as
Mhm.
young girls, and seeing my parents inspire us by their meetings and what they've been able to do, and us traveling with them.
If
Okay,
it is to be, it's up to me. I remember all that stuff, the entrepreneur's creed, all of that. Yes.
so we were programming ourselves really at a young age, subconsciously, for this entrepreneurial life. But get back to those. What does it look like to really work on yourself? Tell people some of that.
So for me, one of the biggest things I had to do is I had to get rid of the distractions and bad habits that I had that were holding me back. And that could look like anything for any of us, It could be drinking, it could be, watching too much TV, chilling out, it could be going to too many happy hours, or, gossiping, or you procrastinating, whatever bad habit that you have, whatever distraction is holding you back. It could be just hanging around the wrong crowd, people who aren't supporting you, naysayers, whatever is distracting you and holding you back. You got to get it out of your space. So you have to eliminate those distractions.
Yeah.
Then you have to make a commitment to yourself. When you make this commitment, don't like be afraid of, like, well, dag, well, I don't know how it's going to work. I don't know how. That's not important. The how is going to show up. You just have to decide that I'm going to be in this journey of, pursuing whatever goal or dream it is. I'm going to step into this journey, and I am going to be here for it every day, and I'm going to make a commitment to yourself to show.
Uh-oh, somebody must have called and took her out again. I'm gonna have to tell her to get on, put on do not disturb. I meant to tell her that. Put on do not disturb. But make that commitment to yourself. And guys, commitment is doing the thing that you said you would do long after the feeling that you said that you would do it under is gone. Meaning, like in the beginning, when you're excited about a new venture, right? It's brand new. You're at your most being fired up about it. And you're saying, man, I'm going to do this thing. And then when the real work begins and it gets hard and it gets challenging. Daryl, can you turn that down, please? I'm doing a video. It gets hard and it gets challenging, you um and you just feel like, oh, maybe the doubt or the naysayers come in. Commitment is, can you still be excited? Can you still get the job done? Can you still keep pushing through, even if you're not feeling as enthusiastic as you were, right? Doing the thing you said you would do long after the feeling that you said you would do it under is gone.
Gone.
So,
Hmm.
yeah, I should have told you to put it on do not disturb. Maybe that's
Okay.
so. But anyway, we're round the third here. All right. So I love your story. And we're gonna come back and tell this again, because here you were trying different things from the time you were a teenager. All you had that entrepreneur spirit. Then you got the information that, wait a minute, I got to work on me even harder than I do these businesses. And then you started
Mhm.
working on yourself in the inner world, and your outer world started to change.
Yes,
Such a key point that so many people just kind of like overlook, or they hear it but they really don't do it, right?
exactly.
And so just go ahead and now jump to the realization of when it was able to happen. What was kind of the story of setting yourself up so that you were able to leave a six-figure job?
Yes, yes, yes. And let me say, because this is important, this was not only just a job, this was my dream job. So I want people to realize that I wasn't leaving from an energy of, oh my God, I can't stand my boss, or I hate what I do, or I don't like this, or I don't like that, because that's important. Whenever you're transitioning from one thing to the next, you want to make sure that you're doing it, and in a positive energy, because all you're going to do is attract, or what you're doing is, sending out vibrations and attracting the next thing to you. So when I left, it was my dream job. There was nothing wrong. I loved it. I loved the families I worked with. It was, I wanted that job for like 15 years, and I finally landed it. And then I was able to leave. So here we go. So it was like springtime. This is what pushed me over the edge. So I have been wanting to grow my business. Well, let me see. Am I going back to when I started? When I started the business, or when I left the job? Which one did you ask? I'm sorry.
Well, either one. I just wanted them to see kind of the progression of how you got from while you were at your job and
Okay.
leaving.
So, real quick though, because this is important, I do want to say that, so I have a behavioral health practice. That is not my field. I'm an educator by training. Behavioral health, it has nothing to do with what I've ever done in my life. So, I was in a totally new space. So, the point that I'm about to share with you now is that when I was first starting the business, there were people, again, those naysayers, people who ain't never done nothing, talking about, oh, how hard, or either people who were in the business, but maybe they didn't succeed or whatever, telling me how hard it was going to be, how long it was going to take me to get the license, just all this stuff. And if I would have listened to them, because I'm sure a lot of people heard those same messages and decided, I ain't doing that, or I don't want to do that. I did that thing, and I did it in record time, got our license in record time, started building relationships, grew the business, still continuing to grow it. And the point is that you got to watch who you are taking advice from. And not only that, you got to bet on yourself. But when you work on yourself, then you're confident and know that, oh, okay, if I say I'm going to do something, I know I'm going to do it. You know what I'm saying? So watch the naysayers, watch people who you get advice from and who you decide to listen and get opinions from. So anyway, so that's that. Fast forward 4 years. So it was last
It's been
springtime.
years
So I started in 2020. It's almost been five.
that you've had the business.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh!
Yeah.
Wow.
Because I started during COVID. COVID was 2020, right? March 2020.
Oh yes,
Yeah. So yeah, it's almost been 5 years. Well, it has been 5 years. It has been 5 years. Um, okay.
incredible.
So So last year, this TikTok and everything's come out. It's been out for a while, but last year I was really wanting to grow my social media platform and really expand in the life coaching and leadership coaching space. So, and as a result, I wanted to start making like more TikToks and videos and stuff. So I think I had gone into my supervisor's office. Maybe I had an evaluation or maybe the end of the year evaluation or something. And love my supervisor, but she said something in there in that evaluation that left me feeling so salty. So when I do my social media posts, I never ever said anybody's name. I didn't even say Baltimore County Public Schools. I didn't give any identifying information. There was a trend going on TikTok, and I did the trend. And she mentioned to me, said something like, yeah, and somebody said that you're on social media mentioning or saying such and such name, whatever. It was ridiculous, whatever she was saying. And it was so ridiculous that I found the video and I text her the video to show her that whoever gave her the information obviously gave her wrong information. So anyway, I was like, this is absurd. I can't even, whatever.
I'm
So
getting excited because one day I hope you get to meet her and she gets to see how successful you are now. But anyway,
oh, I'm sure she knows. I'm sure she knows. Um, but anyway, so um, and I had been wanting to leave because I knew that during the day I was tied up at my job, but the people that I needed to connect with, the business relationships, the of people who I needed to go out and build and find. I couldn't do that because I was tied up all day during my job. So, yes, I had a good income, but I knew if I focused on my business, I could 10x my income. So it was like a no brainer. Um, and listen, when I decided to leave, I did not tell a soul. I didn't tell my parents. I didn't tell you, Boomy. I didn't tell my boyfriend. I didn't tell my kids. I only told my supervisor because I didn't want people questioning me. My mind wasn't made up. And especially my parents, some people just have that job mentality and they don't understand, like, the drive to want to do more and be more.
yes.
And so I was like, I'm not telling anybody because I don't want them to project their fear
Mm,
onto me. I didn't want anyone to give me their opinion or ask me any questions. I didn't want anything. Like, I had had my last day of work, right? And people still didn't know. So yeah. So anyway, long story short, I didn't tell anyone what I was doing, purpose on purpose, and yeah, it worked out wonderfully.
so is this going to be your first? Will July be your first year, or will okay,
Yes. Yep.
on a year that
Be my first year.
us been able to build a substantial business,
Mhm.
outrageous income from, well, look, the comfort of her own home, beaches around the world, and she does have an office, right?
Yeah. Yeah. A couple offices.
Yeah,
Yes. Yeah. Yeah.
office and a couple of businesses. So you
Yeah.
didn't start one.
Right. Exactly. Yeah.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Well,
Exactly.
Kenya, we're going to go ahead and end here, but we'll come back and do some more. But really quick, how can people follow you on TikTok? And do tell us about your businesses real quick, your two businesses, in case maybe somebody could use your services.
Two. Well, yeah, I'll just do the ones that I think are relevant here. So, I do have a behavioral health practice. So, that's mental health services and also treatment for people in recovery from addiction. So, that's one. And that's the one that we talked about a lot today. I'm also a certified life and leadership coach. So, you can find me on all platforms. I'm Kenya Conway on Facebook, Kenya Conway on TikTok, and Kenya Speaks on Instagram. I'm primarily on TikTok more than the other programs. So, yeah, make sure you like and follow me because we have a good time on my TikTok platform. So, thanks, Boomy. I enjoyed myself.
Awesome. And give your phone number.
Oh, yeah, and my phone number. Oh, my website too, kenyaconway.com. Kenyaconway.com. You can go there and I have some free stuff that you can download. You can connect and we can stay in contact. And then my phone number is 443 398 1414 443 398 1414.
All right. Well, guys, Kenya is living proof that you can do what you want to do, be what you want to be, have what you want to have, and don't let anybody stop you. If she
And
did it, you can do it too. Remember, you are more powerful than you know. We love you, and I look forward to hearing your success story. Bye bye. Thanks, King.
bye bye. You're welcome. Thank you. Love you.